Okay, welcome back to the channel. Just before we get into the video, just want to remind you guys, you can smash the like button for me, please. Share the video if you like the video. Also, hit that bell for notifications to get all the new latest videos. The algorithm doesn't seem to be favouring the channel at the moment, so I'm just going to remind you guys to get it out there so we can push out this video. But anyway, enough said. Francis Ngannou shocked the world last weekend when he took the so-called lineal WBC champion, right? Took him to 10 rounds and lost on a split decision. A very contentious split decision that a lot of people are contesting. Even a week after the event, everyone's still talking about it and still dominating the boxing news. Right, we got some news out from the UFC. Dana White, right, the president of the UFC, has come out with a little bit of a statement. We know that Dana White was Francis Ngannou's former employer over there at the UFC. We know the troubles that Francis went through trying to get out of his UFC contract. Francis Ngannou is probably the only man to get out of a UFC contract and come up smelling of roses. Dana White said that no one will be interested in him. Francis is too greedy, he's arrogant, he ain't gonna get the money he wants. Tyson Fury don't want to fight him. Anthony Joshua said that fighting Ngannou is like a gimmick fight, doesn't make sense. He wants all the belts and doesn't want these gimmick fights. And Dana White did everything in his power to halt Francis Ngannou from leaving the UFC. He offered him a contract which Francis Ngannou stated it was not good enough, right? It was not good enough. Francis wanted the opportunity to go out and box, something that he's dreamed of doing his whole life. And if you've seen his life story, you know that he's not a man that likes to sit back and take what life gives to him. He wants to go out there and take. He's a taker, right? He's not a sit down to receive, he's a taker. He's got a lot of get up and go out there to get what he needs. So Tyson Fury, all right, was thoroughly embarrassed on the weekend, got dropped to the ground. The fans seem to have turned against him. The little fans that he has already, after he avoided Alexander Usyk, a lot of the fans have now kind of turned against him. And he staged his fight with Ngannou in Saudi Arabia, and it looks like he's backfired on him. But anyway, this is a statement that Dana White put out. The UFC not upset by Francis Ngannou's success. Yeah, right. Yeah, I believe that when I see it. But Dana White will do everything he can to keep his fighters from boxing. So Dana White is going to mollycoddle, try to protect his fighters from getting inside the squared circle. Because that's the desire of most of these MMA fighters. You've got to notice that when these MMA fighters become champions, right? When they become champions, all right? I'll name a few. Conor McGregor obviously got the fight with Floyd Mayweather. Kamaru Usman, when he was champion, he called out Canelo. Sugar Shane O'Malley called out Gervonta Davis recently. Stipe Miocic called out Anthony Joshua. When these guys get titles, right? Even John Jones called out Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's not a boxer, but it's like every time a UFC champion wins the belt, he calls out a boxer. Most of the time, it's a boxer. In John Jones's case, it was Brock Lesnar, who former UFC fighter and WWE, long-time WWE athlete. These guys ain't getting paid well, and that's the reason why every time they win a belt, they call out a boxer. And it's a pattern that we're seeing in the sport. Dana White and the UFC, they want to stop this trend. A little while back, they were getting upset with the Paul brothers because the Paul brothers were exposing them for the little amount of pay that they pay their fighters. They highlighted the fact that anytime, just like I said now, anytime one of their champions becomes a bit of a name over in the UFC, the first thing they do is call out a boxer. And, Dana White needs to pay his fighters a bit more money because it's looking bad at the moment. It's looking real bad at the moment. Because that's all that comes out of the mouths of any of these MMA fighters. And one thing Dana White likes to do is when he speaks about his fighters publicly, he likes to try and say, oh yeah, he's made a lot of money now. When the fighters are not active, a lot of these fighters don't want to fight because they're thinking, do you know what, I'm getting paid peanuts. I'm not going to take that certain fight because I'm going to pay peanuts. So like, look, in MMA, you do get fighters ducking fighters, but most of the time it's not because they're scared, it's because they're not getting paid correctly. And Dana was like, oh, he's made a lot of money, he's sitting back, he's just chilling. He said that about Michael Chandler, he's made a lot of money, he's sitting back, he's chilling. I guarantee you Michael Chandler hasn't made nowhere near the amount of money that a lot of these top contending boxers have made. Guarantee that for a fact. But anyway, I want to keep this short and sweet. I'm not going to say much, but Dana White and the UFC, the guys that tried to halt Francis, you know, they're coming out and saying that they're not upset, but the one thing they want to do is keep their fighters away from boxing. I'm all for fighters getting a good pay, right? I don't like fighters going out there and getting ripped off or getting shortchanged for their performances. If the promotion's making a lot of money out of them, then they deserve some of the profits. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, enough said. Smash that like button, hit that bell for notifications so you get all the new latest videos.